Hey Internet, this is James. And it's time to play Castlevania for the NES. So I'm going to let this little intro video here play out. Most game developers would use this sort of thing to show like a snippet of awesome gameplay or a cool cutscene or something. Castlevania goes a different route with it. And it opts to show you the main character dying to a common enemy. Which is actually a pretty solid metaphor for how this game goes for people that are playing it for the first time, or even the 100th time. Because this game is fucking brutally difficult. This game's not your friend. This game hates you. And it goes out of its way around every corner to make sure you remember that this game was made to kick your ass. And that wasn't an accident. That was intentional game design on Konami's part here. You know, people bitch a lot about video games being expensive these days. They're like 50, 60 bucks a pop. And, you know, they've always been expensive. Oh, sorry. Yawning a little bit. Kind of early for me. Video games have always been expensive. 50 or 60 bucks has been the pretty even ground for games ever since the NES hit. The only difference was back then, you didn't have 6 to 8 hour games being on the short end of the spectrum. Like, people these days will complain about paying 50 bucks for a game that lasts, quote-unquote, only 8 hours. Whereas an NES game would often have only, like, maybe 1 to 2 hours of content. Actual solid content. So, there were different methods back then game developers could, you know, exploit to make games feel longer than they actually were. One of the routes was to make games extremely grindy. Need a lot of leveling up, need a lot of experience points to level up your characters, to get better gear and stuff so you could beat bosses. That kind of idea was employed in like Final Fantasy and Dragon Warrior. And even the sequel to Castlevania, Simon's Quest, employed a lot of experience grinding and farming. The original Castlevania here, on the other hand, employed one of the other more common methods, which was just to make your game so frustratingly difficult that people are not going to make it through it on a first pass, or even probably a second or third pass. It requires a lot of level memorization and a lot of determination, skill, and patience to make it through the individual levels. So anyway, now that I've rambled on about fucking game design for a solid, like, 3 minutes. Good lord, I hate stairs in this game. This is the first boss, and I'm cheesing the hell out of him with the stopwatch upgrade secondary weapon, which stops time. It only really works on the first couple bosses, I think. It might work on the third boss. At most, I know it works on the second one. But it's a pretty cheesy mechanic. So anyway, now that we're in the second world, this game is about a dude named Simon Belmont. That's this little orange guy right here. That's our avatar in this game. He's a vampire slayer. And Dracula's castle mysteriously showed up in the middle of the night, so he's got to go kick some fucking vampire ass with his whip. You know, he's armed only with that whip. Throughout the game, you get a multitude of secondary items that are in that little box up there at the top. Everything from knives to axes to holy water to this fucking overpowered time stop machine that I just lost because I picked up like the weakest fucking secondary item in the game. Good job, James. So yeah, the Belmonts are a long line of vampire slayers, and lucky for them, Dracula reincarnates all the fucking time, because there's like 30 Castlevania games. And he reincarnates in like every one of them, so there's always work for the Belmonts. Yeah, fuck it, I don't need to kill that. Actually, I do. I want to know what's in that candlestick over there. I don't know if I'll be able to get over there now. Oh, here we go. Yeah, just fucking heart. Fantastic. So, you know, hearts in most games tend to designate life power-ups. Oh, sweet, got the fucking stopwatch back. Not in Castlevania with the hearts, though. The only thing that restores health in Castlevania are, like, the wall turkeys that Simon mysteriously finds hidden in walls. Not quite sure why he thinks it's okay to eat that shit, now that I think about it. That's fucking gross. Its castle shows up in the middle of the night run by a vampire, and Simon goes in there and thinks it's a great idea to knock out a wall and eat whatever food he finds in it. It's probably not healthy. That's probably gonna get like AIDS or something. But the hearts are ammunition in this game, which has always been a little weird to me. I don't quite understand how they ended up being the ammunition power-up. Like, you can only throw as many knives as you have hearts. I think the stopwatch takes 10 hearts for one use. It's a weird ammunition system. That's all I'm saying. Now, the way this game works with extra lives and game overs is there's a boss at the end of every 3 levels. Stage 3 has a boss, 6 has a boss, 9 has a boss, and so on. If you die in a stage, and you have lives left, you'll start back to the beginning of the stage. If you die in a stage, and it's a game over, you go back to the most recent level after the most recent boss you killed, if that makes any sense. So, say if I were to game over now, I killed a boss in stage 3, I would go back to stage 4. And I'm talking about this because I'm going to be using save states for this Let's Play, because the most NES games don't have built-in save functions, and this is one of them that doesn't. So unless I felt like playing the whole thing in one sitting, I would have to replay everything to get back to where I was going. And if I play this whole thing in one sitting, I'm just going to get very mad. So this is the second boss, Medusa. I'm probably gonna be able to beat it here just because I'm gonna cheese it with the fucking stopwatch. If I didn't have the stopwatch, I'd be rightly fucked. Oh, I'm still gonna be. Oh, good, she didn't kill me. I thought it was gonna kill me. Yeah, if I didn't have the stopwatch here, I would have fucked that up really bad. So yeah, every boss drops these orbs. The orbs fully replenish your health, which I guess is kind of nice. Thank you, Konami, for having some mercy on us. And I'm doing pretty well on these first couple levels, but later on I start to get my ass handed to me because, well, let's put it this way, if I were able to keep up this level of play, this Let's Play would probably be like 2 videos long, but depending on how much I cut out of my deaths against the Grim Reaper and Dracula, this Let's Play could go on for a little while, and it could be very entertaining watching how mad I get. Anyway, this is the start of Stage 7, which is the 3rd world, so to speak. So I'm gonna drop a save state here and cut the video for now. Yeah, these are gonna be fairly short episodes. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be back tomorrow. Take it easy.